As General Motors prepares to sell the vacant assembly plant in Janesville, the city is waiting to hear back about a legacy fund. In March of last year, the Janesville city manager asked GM to establish a $25 million legacy fund, but hasn't heard from the company since. Our Rock County reporter Jenna MIDDAUGH is live in our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with what GM has to say. Good evening, Jenna.
Good evening, Charlotte. Well, I spoke with a GM official today, and he says the company does not establish legacy funds in communities where plants have closed. But the Janesville city manager is still waiting to hear an official response.
Thousands of people once worked here.
I mean, it was a family business. It really was.
And after sitting empty for nearly a decade, the old GM assembly plant will soon have new life.
As GM departs, I think that the future is extremely bright for the city.
Last week, Janesville announced a St. Louis-based company signed an agreement to buy the plant from GM. They're hoping to close the deal by the end of the year. And once it's done, GM will be nothing but a memory.
I think there's something that needs to be left here in Janesville for the long-term remembrance of the 90 years that that company called Janesville its home.
City manager Mark Freitag wrote a letter to GM in March of 2016 asking the company to establish a $25 million legacy fund to be used for community, economic, and workforce development. But after 18 months, he still hasn't gotten a response.
They haven't said no, they haven't said yes, and they certainly have not, asked any additional questions.
Janesville was, certainly a huge part of General Motors and the history of General Motors, building hundreds of thousands of full-size SUVs, very important products to us. But in terms of establishing a legacy fund, that's just not something we do.
GM corporate spokesperson Dan Flores says he's not aware of what's been discussed between the company and the city about the fund, and says the legacy GM will leave behind will be the new future of the old plant.
Our focus all along has been, we want to work with someone to return this property to productive use.
The Janesville city manager says he does plan to bring up the legacy fund to GM one more time before they finalize the deal with the new company by the end of this year.
Jenna MIDDAUGH reporting from the Rock County Bureau tonight. Jenna, thank you.